How do you plan your life coaching fees? If you're starting out, if you're experienced and growing, or if you've been coaching for decades. Hey, this is Jeffrey Tusui with coachestraining.blog.com. And in this video, I'm going to cover how to plan your life coaching fees, the 3 levels or dimensions of fees that you'll progress through. We'll also talk about how much to charge your first client, how to determine your coaching fee dimension, and then also the one thing that's way more important than your coaching fee. So let's start right now. When you're getting your first couple paying clients, the fee is not important. What's most important is, think of it this way. Let's draw it in a picture. There are 3 different dimensions of fee levels in the coaching industry. First dimension is free. This is free coaching. So this is a 0 fee coaching. Now, your client does pay for this with their time, their faith, their risk of feeling, stupid, or that maybe this wasn't the right thing, or, putting themselves in your hands to some extent. They are still making investment. They're just not making a financial investment. Okay, so that's the first dimension, is the free dimension. The second dimension is, I'm just going to call this, probably not the best term for it, but I'm just going to call this cheap. Second dimension is the cheap dimension of coaching fees. Okay, completely different dimension. Make no mistake, if you're charging, $25 a month for coaching with somebody, and there's another coach, and they look at you and like, what are you, an idiot? Like, why are you charging so little? Like, what's wrong with you? You don't value your service or something? And you ask them, well, how many paying clients do you have? Oh, I don't have any, right? You are in the second dimension, they're in the first dimension. They're doing free coaching, you're doing cheap coaching, okay? They are not in the same world, completely different universes, and just please don't forget that, okay? Because there's nothing wrong with free coaching. There's nothing wrong. It's not a good or bad. It's just first dimension. But as soon as you get paid, I don't care what amount it is, $1, $25, $100, whatever. You decide, and your client decides what cheap is. That's a mindset. It's like, what do they think is really not that much, and it's not a big deal, and what do you think is very, very cheap, and you're very comfortable with charging, and maybe is too little even. So this, I just put a question mark here, but cheap coaching is not the same as free coaching. You're getting paid now, they're paying you, and you got a whole different set of problems, you got a whole different set of responsibilities, you had to negotiate the psychology of that transaction. This is, frankly, it's non-transactional, and this is transactional. A very different world. So if you can make this leap, if you've been doing some free coaching, and now you're going to charge for the first time, and you charge $5 or whatever it is, really doesn't matter. I just laugh because these are laughable numbers, but it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the amount is. When somebody in the 90s or the 80s, they signed up for the Columbia Record Club, and they paid a penny to get, 1 record a month, or 1 CD a month, or 1 tape a month from the recent top 40 hits or something. Like, the penny was a paid relationship. You were a paying customer in their mind, and they had a $1 billion business they built, Columbia Records, based upon that one, just going from free to cheap. Now, they could have just given you free records or free tapes every month. They wouldn't have had any kind of business. So nobody can convince me that free and cheap are the same dimension, because one is no business at all. The other one could be a $1 billion enterprise. Okay, so don't forget that. It's so important. Okay, so that's the second dimension, is cheap. The third dimension is value or fair value, but this is where you're truly charging what the value of the service is, what the value of the results are that client is waging their, is really putting their all into the value of what's possible for them. It's also, by the way, a transactional relationship. Okay, so you're still making so this actually hasn't changed. This is a quantum leap. This, not so much. It's a different dimension, there's no doubt, going from like 25 to 250 or 100 to 1,000, right? $500 a month or something like that. I mean, these amounts, it's no joke. I mean, your butt's big time on the line here. It doesn't mean you have to guarantee anything. You could if you chose to, but it does mean that there's a lot at stake here. People really care about what they're getting for this, whereas $25 a month, it might not be that big a deal to them. It matters more than free, right? But it's not that as big a deal. So still a quantum leap, still a different universe that you're entering into in this value dimension, going from cheap to value. Okay, but but in some ways it's kind of it's a next step beyond cheap. You're just going to you can slowly and incrementally go 25, 50, 100, 250, and eventually you're at your $5,000 a month client or whatever it is, which some people are charging. Some people are charging $10,000 a month for one client. So the way they got there probably was starting at cheap. And before that they were probably at free. So these are the big quantum leaps that you make over time. But the biggest one that you want to make sure you get, and that I think you're talking about right now, Jesse, is going from free to cheap. So go ahead and whatever that looks like for you. And hell, if you could do something that you feel is value, then great. You can skip the second dimension and go right to the third dimension. They make that leap if you choose to. I do know coaches that do that have done that very, very quickly. But a lot of coaches, including myself, when I think my first paying client that I did outside of Tony Robbins and the free relationships that I had, I think they were like paying me like $50 a month, right? And that was just as serious a coaching relationship at that time with the level of skills I had at the time as any coaching relationship I have now. Put just as much energy into those. It was a transaction. And it was very important because that was where my business education had begun. All right, so those are the three dimensions of different fee levels, and just know where you are, where most of your clients are at, and then what's next for you, so you can make a comfortable incremental step to make the leap to the next dimension, if you choose to, and then if you're making progress or if you're just sitting where you are, and it's totally okay to sit where you are, but at least be aware of that.
I just want to say that's actually really helpful for me because I feel like if I'm going from nothing to all of a sudden charging $200 an hour, that I feel all of a sudden this pressure in my that I have
right
starting out. And by you explaining this, you just took away like a lot of that pressure. Like I feel like, why do I have to charge $200 an hour? I'm just starting. If I get a client, that's incredible. I can learn from that. So that's just kind of reduce the pressure and worry and concern.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, in real life, when we're trying to pay bills and take care of ourselves and anybody else that we support, it's like we're going to get plenty of pressure on without putting our own psychological pressure on about what this means and what numbers matter and whether that looks good or bad or whether that makes us a good coach or not. It's like bullshit. I mean, just let's not do that to ourselves. If we got to cover rent this month and you got to make $750, if you've got to get 14, 15 clients at $50 this month in order to pay the rent, and go out there and go to just talk to 10 people a day to do that, or you're going to talk to one person and get them to pay $750 for 6 months of coaching or even a month of coaching. I mean, what difference does it make? You paid the rent. You did it. Congratulations. You won that game. And if you don't have to play that game this month because there is no rent to pay or that's covered in some other income source for you or whatever, it's like, man, I mean, you count yourself lucky and then go play this game. See what's possible for you. Because once you can play this game, once you get let's do some math here. But let's say you just get to cheap coaching, right? And let's say you're working every day and you're talking to 2-3 people a day, at least 3-4 days a week. you're setting, a couple, 2, 4 sessions a week. So you're getting free sessions in, and you're signing up a few people for very cheap coaching. Let's say that cheap coaching is $100 a month. Okay, it's fairly cheap for, especially if you're doing like weekly sessions or twice a month or something like that. We're talking about $50 an hour or something like that. Okay, you sign up 5 clients, now you're at $500 a month in income. Now 5 clients, even if you coached them every single week, you're working 1 day a week for that. So that's, you're not even quite a part-time job. You're working 1 day a week, and you got $500 a month in income. And people will come and go, but that's not bad for talking on the phone once a week in the privacy of your home, right? We could think about that from an hourly perspective. Let's say you want to start with cheap coaching, and you're going to say, I'm gonna charge $50 an hour. It's probably about as low as most coaches will ever charge for their services. If you have enough contacts and you're a decent enough coach, even without any real serious salesmanship, you should be able to get a decent amount of clients ongoingly at $50 an hour. So whatever amount of coaching you're offering them per month. And so let's say you're just charging $50 an hour, and you get a bunch of people you're working with and you're talking to, and so you end up working again 1 day a week. So it's a 8-hour day times 4, let's say 4 weeks out of a month. You're making $1,600 a month. I mean, that's a bit of a part-time income all of a sudden. That's on $50 an hour coaching, So I mean, our coaches on our team, they'll charge anywhere between $100 and $200 an hour. There are times when we'll do coaching for less than that if it's a gigantic amount of coaching. Like if we have 30 clients in one in one piece of work, we'll do something like more and under $100 an hour for like a enterprise coaching client or something like that, with a bunch of managers to coach or something like that. But this is kind of it's one of, you could consider this kind of in the minimum range. But that, you could pay bills with that. You can live on, partly live on that as well, right? So and again, that's 1 day a week. You coach 2 days a week, then just double that. Now, that's a local waitering job on the evenings right there, working 2 days a week. That gives you 5 days a week to build your business while you pay bills, right? That's not bad. It's not a bad start. Okay, so this is not as much about needing to get to a certain fee level as it is needing to have power with people enough that they want to coach with you. If you can go out today, talk to 10 people, and have a couple of them want to coach with you, you win. The money's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. You don't have to worry about the money. It's gonna work out. But if you can't get people to want to coach with you, if that's above, it's over your head, that's beyond you, that's something you're not willing to put the time into, you don't have any energy for that, you don't have the confidence for that or something, and it holds you back, until you break through whatever is standing in your way of that, there is no possibility of success. That is that's what's priceless, not some fee level. Now if you really want to get to, reasonable fee levels, and you're talking, $100 an hour times 2 days a week, now, that would be a coaching income that, a lot of the coaches that we see and that we train are able to generate, able to charge, in that $100 an hour range. Sometimes they'll charge more, sometimes they'll charge you less, just really depends on the situation, and there's other things that they can charge for as well. Okay, so the numbers really work great. Coaching is a cash strategy. It generates massive amounts of cash once you set the stage for that. Once you got the skills, once you are able to generate the sense of trust, credibility, and leadership from others, that they want you to lead them, in some way that they value. That's the game that is most important to play. And then the money is just a measure of that. It's part of the measure of that process. It's important to get off of the money being the focal point of our limitations and getting on to who we are, our leadership, our skills with people, and our willingness to work and put forth energy to make something happen. There's enough energy, enough work, enough willingness to break through the things that most people don't and can't and won't break through. You're going to get paid for that eventually, because that's so valuable and it's so rare.
So once again, this is Jeffrey Suey with coachestrainingblog.com. I hope that you took some great value out of this video today. So what's your current coaching fee dimension? Are you mostly free or are you charging fair value? What's your plan for progress to whatever coaching fee level is next for you? I'd love to hear your feedback, so make sure that you leave a comment with your thoughts or questions. Thanks for watching this video. Like it if you thought it was cool, and subscribe for even more of these videos. By the way, you can grab your own free step-by-step 30 days to become a coach video toolkit. Just go to coachestrainingblog.com right now to get your 30-day coaching blueprint videos. You'll learn how to change your client's life in 45 minutes, other advanced coaching and practice building techniques, and more.